What's going on, Orlando Magic Nation? Now, we are just 11 days away from the recording of this video from the home opener for the 2021 Orlando Magic season versus the New York Knicks. Now, I am even more excited about this NBA season for the Magic than I have been in recent memory. Now, I understand that we traded away Vucevic, Fournier, and Aaron Gordon last season. You know, the last couple of seasons with Steve Clifford, we'd made the playoffs, excluding last year. But this year is just a developmental year where we get to assess young talent. We have a first-year head coach in Jamel Mosley. Now, I am so excited for this Magic season. Now, let's stop wasting time. Let's hop right into this video. Now, the first thing I want to really discuss when it comes to this team is going to be with Jamel Mosley. Now, obviously, this is his first time being a head coach in the NBA. He was an assistant with the Dallas Mavericks, and he has had a great repertoire throughout his tenuous NBA career as well. And I'm super excited to see what he can do. And the reason I'm excited is because we've known what we've gotten from Steve Clifford. Steve Clifford, with his time in Charlotte and in Orlando, was just an average NBA coach. He was nothing more than that. He was good enough to get us to the playoffs in a weak Eastern Conference, even though we had solid players, and he developed a guy like Nikola Vucevic into the all-star caliber player that he is. But Jamel Mosley is a player-oriented guy, and also now we get to see what he can do as a head coach. And even though we're not expecting playoffs this year, as Orlando Magic fans, this is just a year for him to build and develop a culture and bring the right guys together, and that's what we're all super excited about when it comes to Jamel Mosley. Now, the second thing I want to get into with the Magic is going to be the young guys in the backcourt, and of course, I got to talk about number 5 overall pick, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, our first-round pick last year, RJ Hampton, who we got in the trade with Aaron Gordon, and then, of course, you've got Markelle Fultz coming back off of injury, and I was unfortunately at that game versus Cleveland when he tore his ACL. Broke my heart, honestly. But getting back to the point, though, our backcourt has some serious depth when it comes to these young guys. And the great thing about this is you have competition. Now, look, I think Jalen Suggs is solidified. I think this guy is the real deal. And of course, we're going to be able to witness that once the regular season comes and we can actually assess this talent. But when it comes to guys like Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, and Markelle Fultz, none of these guys are guaranteed to be on this roster next year. All of these guys are going to have to prove to the Orlando Magic organization, hey, I'm good enough to continue to be on this roster, not just this year, but for the future of this team moving forward, because obviously we're still in this rebuild phase after the Dwight Howard era. The rebuild with, you know, Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, DJ Augustine, and the rest of the crew clearly didn't work out. Now we have even more young talent, and these guys in the backcourt, excluding Jalen Suggs, really have to go out there and prove, hey, I can be a part of the Orlando Magic's future moving forward. Me personally, I think it's going to end up being Cole Anthony. You know, I've got nothing against, you know, RJ Hampton and Markelle Fultz. I want to see these guys succeed, but if I just had to go out on a limb, I'm going to say it's Cole Anthony. I think he showed a lot of promise, not only in his rookie year last year, but also I just think the development of this guy is going to be insane. Of course, Markelle Fultz was playing some of his best basketball before he went down, and of course, I want to see Markelle Fultz succeed. I'm not saying that it's not possible. If I just had to go out on a limb and say, I think it's going to come down to Cole Anthony and Markelle Fultz. I think RJ Hampton's probably the easiest one out of that group, and I think it's going to be Cole Anthony officially. And then the third and last thing I really want to discuss specifically with this team has got to just be the rest of the young guys on the team. When it comes to guys like Chuma Okeke, we know how great Johnathan Issac can be, 3-and-D kind of guy, and we see the potential in his game every time he's out on the court. It's just if he has to be able to be healthy and stay on the court. Mo Bamba's looked great in the preseason so far, and I think this is going to give him a good opportunity. Now that Vucevic is officially out of the door, he's got an actual offseason under his belt to go and prove that he can be the center of this Magic's team moving forward. Of course, you've got Wendell Carter Jr., and, you know, I'm sure there's other guys out there like I'm missing. And then, I mean, outside of just these young players, you've still got a decent amount of veterans like Terrence Ross, you know, Gary Harris, honestly, one of the few guys I feel like, you know, is just completely lost in this roster. Like, oh crap, I forgot we had Gary Harris on this team. You know, Etuan Moore, Robin Lopez, we brought in through free agency. Like, this team is nothing crazy. Like, let's just keep this real, Magic fans. Like, our team is not good. We're not trying to make the playoffs. This year is all just about assessment, having fun this year, and actually just watching the growth of this team. And that's the awesome thing is, in the past, we've kind of had, you know, ceilings and expectations to, you know, make the playoffs and, you know, maybe mess around and win game 1 and then, you know, get gentlemen swept after that. Things happen, you know. We understood that it wasn't going to happen, you know, with Evan Fournier, Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, and the rest of the team moving forward, that we weren't going to go deep in the playoffs. Now we can start fresh. And look, I just think that the young talent on this team and on this roster is through the roof. I just feel as if Jamel Mosley builds the right culture then, you know, things are going to go really well in Orlando. It should be a free agent destination, even though we've had historically been bad the last decade ever since Dwight Howard has departed from this franchise. I mean, Orlando, you're in a no state income tax state. You know, historically, we've been a pretty good franchise. You know, I don't see why players wouldn't want to live in the state of Florida. Also, families want to live in Orlando because of Disney, etc. You know, Orlando shouldn't really have a difficult time attracting free agents. It comes down to the money, and it also comes down to building the right culture and also just winning games. And even though the Magic are going to be doing a lot of that this year, this is a very exciting season coming up for the Orlando Magic. I'm super excited, and Magic fans, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Are you guys going to be attending any games this year? What are your guys' expectations for the season? And also, what do you guys think about Jalen Suggs potentially being in the Rookie of the Year race? I think he's going to be right there with Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Jalen Suggs right there. I mean, even if you want to throw in Davion Mitchell, I think he is the real deal. Davion Mitchell over with the Sacramento Kings. Jalen Suggs should be right there in the thick of things in terms of voting in the Rookie of the Year race. So Magic fans, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. And if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys like, turn on notifications, and hit that subscribe bell for me to stay tuned for more NBA and Jacksonville Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. But Magic Nation, that's it for this video. I want to say thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart and to everybody out there supporting me. But it's been real. Brett James, aka BJ. I'm out, y'all. Peace.